is a presentation of OCA Media Sports.
OCA Media Sports is proud to present the 2018 Wisconsin State High School Rugby Championships. Today's Division II championship match pits the Middleton Area Rugby Football Club against the Green Bay Mavericks. Live from the Wisconsin Rugby Club Sports Complex in Cottage Grove, Wisconsin, here are your announcers, Liz Entwistle and Zach Seeloff.
Zach Seeloff, Liz Entwistle here at the Wisconsin State Rugby Complex in Cottage Grove for the State Wisconsin Rugby Championship, the Division II game coming to us today. It's going to be Mark, the Middleton Area Rugby Club, against the Green Bay Mavericks. It's been some great rugby so far today. We saw one great defensive battle, and then in the D1 game, Pulaski just pouring on the offense.
Yeah, it just attests to the different styles of play that these different teams have. When we go into the D1 play, all these teams play in the Badgerland Conference. So there are 7 teams. They played round robin. They get to know each other. Some of the teams go out to the Midwest and play a little bit further. When we have the D2, D3 level, these teams actually play one joint schedule. So there's a Badgerland Conference, that's Milwaukee, Madison area, and then you have a Northeast Wisconsin, the new conference. That's up kind of Green Bay, Sheboygan, Fox Cities and whatnot. So they play one joint schedule, and then the top performing teams go into the D2 quarterfinals, and then the lower teams go into the D3 quarterfinals.
All right, so we're actually going to take a quick break, and we will be back with the start of this game. We're going to head to commercial. You're watching OCA Media's coverage of the Wisconsin State Rugby Championship.
At Oregon Community Bank, our purpose for over 38 years has been to serve our customers. Our goal is to help them improve their financial lives with innovative banking products and services, coupled with unparalleled customer service. Doing banking the right way, bringing our skills and expertise to improve the financial stability to individuals and businesses is how we have grown. We call this feel-good banking. So give us a call. Drop into one of our convenient branches or connect online at OregonCommunityBank.com. Feel good about banking again.
There's no cost for imagination, no charge for dreams, no limit to what we can accomplish together. It takes grit, determination, but mostly it takes you. They are your ideas, your visions. We're here to help. Early mornings, late nights, heavy loads. We are real people turning extraordinary dreams into reality. Sunbelt Rentals. Your ideas, our equipment.
Your Social Security disability benefits have been denied.
You're upset, and maybe you're scared.
You need to appeal and get those monthly checks, but you've never done anything like this before.
It might be your first time, but not ours.
The Becker Law Office has helped over 10,000 people in Wisconsin appeal for disability benefits.
Disability law is all we do.
Call 1-800-254-7766, the Becker Law Office.
Back, everyone. We are underway here, 30 minutes per half in the boys rugby game. And to get us started, we've got a penalty right off the bat.
This will be the Mavericks team wearing the black and the red, going from right to left across your screen, playing against a Middleton area in the green and orange, going from left to right. This is the boys D2 championships. These two teams would not have played against each other in conference play. When we look at how they got here, we saw the number 1 team actually being Oregon Stoughton playing against De Pere. That was a 54-12 win for Stoughton. And then it was a 21-7 win for Middleton over Oregon Stoughton. They had met each other in the regular season with a 19-18 win to Oregon. So Middleton with an upset, and it was this Mavericks team with some upsets as well. We saw them go through as the number 1 team from the new conference. They got a bye in the quarterfinals, played against Muskego in the semifinals. Muskego favored to win, but Green Bay was just able to pour it on. At one point told that the Muskego team had kind of like a lapse in their defensive efforts, and it was 3 quick tries for Green Bay that really put a seal on that game. So expect teams are going to be fairly evenly matched. It'll be exciting because they don't know each other.
uncommon opponents, and that always makes for interest, especially in the playoffs and in particular in a championship game. The D2 championship underway. We've got a minute and a half gone. Still scoreless as Middleton is looking to push this one forward and driving along to get towards the 10-meter line.
So in the middle of the field, we have Anthony DeVito as our head referee. Assistant referees Ted Sabilski and Phil Winkler. And number 4 is Dave Hendricks. This Mavericks team in the red and the black, coached by Andrew Pochniak. We actually saw his brother Alec refereeing the last game in the D1 matchup.
Then we had obstruction.
So with this series of infringements, it's going to go to the original infringement. We have our referees mic'd up for a little bit of extra guidance as to what's happening on the field. And it is going to be a scrum to Middleton with a knock on by the Mavericks side. This Middleton team drawing from quite a few different schools. We have James Madison Memorial, Middleton, Sauk Prairie.
I'm covering the whole range of South Central Wisconsin here as we get set for the scrum. Middleton looking to roll it in. That ball getting caught up, and now it does come free, and Middleton will work it out.
So a couple of non-traditional numbers on the field there. The number 19 is actually their inside center, Ortiz Lockett. Wearing number 18 is their captain and fly half, Gary Ulsman. So there were just a couple of roster changes based on what was going to fit best.
And as they punt one, wow, just got all of that ball heading toward the concession stand and out of play. And we'll take the line in from the near side here.
Sorry, a correction earlier. That's actually their wing, Devin Jackson, that's wearing 18.
3 minutes off the clock. Still scoreless in this D2 championship game. Pulaski winning the D1 game 48-5 over the Chargers, and Madison West winning the D3 game 17-12 over the Chargers number 2 side.
Like this setup here from the Middleton hooker. He's got the ball over his head, so he's ready to throw in. There's not going to be a tell. You see a lot of players that will start with the ball low and then bring it up high so the other team can tell the timing of the line-out throw. You also saw him tensing his abdominals and standing in a very strong forward stance, so he's going to get that power through his core. But right now, it is all about the power of this Mavericks team. A penalty to them.
Once you're on that ground, place back, pass back. Good, yes. Good tech, good talk.
And so a kick away coming from Green Bay, right fielded by Middleton, across midfield, across the 10-meter line, and with some open space, hustling to that outside edge, cutting back inside and fighting his way down into Green Bay territory. Quickly back up with it again, charging towards the center of the field. Tough drive here, just powering through with the legs, and they continue to maintain possession. Coming near side now and racing around to that corner. Great leg tackle and ankle grab from Green Bay. Prevents them from getting into the end goal, but Middleton still pushing with 4:20 on the clock. Feed it back towards the center. Driving, pushing towards that end goal line. They get in there, and it's a try for the Middleton Area Rugby Club. 5 points with a conversion to come at 4:30. In this first half.
Try scored by hooker Victor Cabrera, known as a torpedo. Originally started as a wing for the team and then moved to the hooker position. So this is a player that's going to be a threat with some speed, maybe a little bit counterintuitive to what most people will think about when they think of a traditional hooker. He's one of their star tacklers on the team, an excellent counter rucker, and obviously a finisher in this scenario. It's a Middleton team that actually has quite a bit of depth. Looking over their roster, quite a few funny nicknames. Worth noting that their kicker here has been 64%. Ben Litchfield lining up for the shot, 64% in the regular season, but he's been perfect in the playoffs so far.
Got to be clutch when it counts. Litchfield going to take the conversion attempt, and we've seen a lot of missed conversions here in both the D1 and D3 games. In the end, it didn't affect the outcome, but you don't want to give your opponent any room to breathe. Want to get as many points as you can.
It's an interesting approach as well. Just kind of looking at some of these kickers, we've seen them taking 7, 8 steps back. I was always the kind of kicker that took my 3 steps back, 2 steps to the side, coming from a football background, but leaving a little bit less to chance, because what's so important for a well-struck kick is the way that you plant that outside foot.
And
it works for the young man, so.
Speaking of a well-struck kick, that is right down the boulevard. The conversion good from Litchfield. It is 7-0 in favor of Middleton with about 6 minutes gone here in the first half of the D2 state championship. Thanks so much for joining us here on OCA Media. You can find us on Charter Cable, channels 983 and 984, on OCAmedia.com. On YouTube, search OCA Media, or on Facebook, visit Oregon Cable Access. Send us your game day pictures with the hashtag OCA Game Day.
So we'll keep an eye on this Middleton team as the game progresses. They were 7-2 in the regular season, including the playoffs. Obviously, wins in the playoffs to get here to the state championship game, outscoring their opponents by a margin of 441 to 92.
Oh,
so that means they're scoring 4 times as many tries per match as the teams that they're playing against. Mavericks going to look to turn the tide of that rate.
Always nice to have a very nearly 5-to-1 scoring advantage.
It's a team that won their quarterfinal matchup 37-15 over the Appleton Dragons, and their semifinal again 21-7 Oregon Stoughton. This is their first final since 2015. They lost to Pulaski in D1. We have a promotion relegation system very similar to European soccer when it comes to boys high school rugby in the state of Wisconsin. So teams that fare poorly in D1, that are at the bottom of the barrel, move into D2. The best teams in D2 move up, and so we have systems where they try to just keep the playing field fairly even, fairly equal, and make sure that these young men are getting the competition levels that are appropriate for where their skills are at.
A line out coming from Middleton here after the kick into touch. We did see Green Bay come up with one of these earlier. We'll see if Middleton can hold it here early in this first half. Going high, Green Bay gets a hand on it, but a whistle.
So this is going to be a penalty to Green Bay against Middleton. You can go for the ball in the air. You can't go for your opponent. And that's what was called, was playing the man that was in the air. So you can try for a legitimate catch, but you can't push the other guy away and do things of that nature.
Green Bay with a deep kick into touch inside of the Middleton red zone. And they will take the throw there. 7:48 on the clock. It's a 7-0 Middleton lead thanks to the try from Victor Cabrera, the torpedo, putting it down on the ground. But Green Bay threatening here in the offensive zone.
Studying what Green Bay does with their own lineouts. They've done well to disrupt a couple from Middleton here. I think what's kind of interesting is that while Middleton does have great setup and everything, on their lineouts, they're kind of taking a while, and they're not quite getting their jumper up immediately. You see a couple little feints, and so I think that timing is preventing them from getting their timing and that quick boost into the air. It takes a lot of good core strength. These guys hitting the weights, squats, cleans, overhead press.
And we get the signal there.
Number 8. I know it's a little late.
So we're going to settle it down, and we'll have a penalty in favor of Middleton here. They will get the play.
So a couple of calls here for not rolling away when it comes to the breakdown area. We have to keep the rucks clean and give each team a fair chance to contest for the ball.
Middleton elects to kick it into touch, sending it out of play on that far side.
And with it being a penalty, this is going to be a Middleton throw. So see if they can fix some of their timing issues with the line out. Again, key to maintain possession of the ball. You don't want to give the ball away. So little mistakes in the line outs and things like little knock-ons, ball handling errors can create turnovers by giving the other team possession via their own line out, via a scrum, looking to win that turnover battle.
Referee signals ready, and here we go for the Middleton line out. Throwing goes to the back man, and he's able to run it forward. Immediately gang tackled by Green Bay, and they'll set up the ruck. Try and cut it right back to the same spot, and they get the same outcome. Nothing doing there. And this one's going to be grabbed by Green Bay. Find the loose ball on the ground, and just dragging forward are the Mavericks. Middleton, though, grabs a loose ball of their own, and taken down is Liam Enright of the Middleton Area Rugby Club. Neither team getting much done here on the offensive end, and we've got a whistle there. That one's going to go against Green Bay, and just a quick tap and take. What a hit delivered by Gavin Adler, the ball carrier. Absolutely steamrolls his Green Bay opponent as Middleton looks to keep on going. Green Bay with a nice wrap up here, though, drive them back behind the 10-meter line.
So Green Bay is doing a great job of putting defensive pressure against this Middleton team. Maybe a little bit too much. There's a little bit of extras on the field. Of course, very competitive.
And a tap and go for Middleton on that penalty, and they'll move it all the way to the far edge. That's a nice throw, but just can't grab it. I like the pass.
It was forward.
It was forward? Okay.
It was forward.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
We have that line right here at midfield.
That's true. We do have a good way to look at it. I like the attempt then.
There you go.
The thought was right. Just the execution was a little off, and so we will take it here where our referee stands. 10:44 on the clock. Middleton a 7-0 lead, having converted on their one-try attempt.
It'll be a scrum to the Mavericks, put in by their scrum half number 9, senior Nick Heim. Mavericks themselves, a combination team with players from Green Bay East, Green Bay West, West De Pere, as well as Preble. And this scrum half for the Mavericks team is actually a player that is going to UW-Madison, and he has played for the Selects, is going to be involved with the Army as well. Of course, UW-Madison playing today at the CRC tournament. That's some more rugby action that you can catch on ESPN Plus for when all of the action is done here.
Yeah, stay with us, of course. But ESPN Plus is there for when we're done. Thanks for joining us here on OCA Media for the Wisconsin State Rugby Championships. Really pleased to be able to bring you this live broadcast. Green Bay will kick that one into touch, and we will get the throw in into the red zone for Middleton.
So this is about 5 or 6 penalties now to the Green Bay team. So infractions committed by this Middleton side. We're going to have a conversation here with the referee, just making sure that he's properly managing the game. He's going to give them a warning. Now, we've seen so many penalties, a lot of them on not releasing, so really making sure that teams have fair rights to the ball when it comes to the breakdown.
Play the ball on the team. Here's 30 seconds to talk to your team to tell them that.
Ask that this gets cleaned up. 7-0 currently. Middleton leading against the Mavericks. We are 12 minutes into this opening half of play. So again, looking at like seasons that have gone on, this Mavericks team coached by Andrew Pochniak. Quite a large number of upperclassmen on their team as well. Quality experience. A lot of players with selects experience as well. Need him to have a note that their number 4, Kadeem Dewberry, is a future storm chaser. A couple guys that love some hunting and fishing.
And off of that, it's Green Bay taking one away, getting right to the 5-meter line. Ball spills out, and they're able to make a play off of it. They've got some open space here on the left side of the field, and they are going to get the try. Touchdown by number 15, Austin Brainier. And it's Green Bay Mavericks getting the score. They trail 7-5 pending the conversion attempt with 12:58 on the clock.
Love the way that the team was able to move the ball. So the Mavericks coming off of their line out, taking advantage of the wide open field space. And that was a beautiful insert by the fullback, fullback on the rugby field, also an all-state running back when it comes to the game of football. But by inserting between the center and the wing, he created a little bit of an element of surprise instead of looping all the way to the outside, able to get fairly close to the post. We'll look for the conversion attempt here by Floyd King. Not your traditional kicker when it comes to, most people are used to seeing the number 10, perhaps the number 12. But this is a player that is going to Lindenwood, Belleville next year on a scholarship. Has played 4 years for this team, has played in 51 games for the Mavericks.
Plenty
so
of
I think he's
experience.
confident.
We know he knows how to do this. The forward angled ball as he lines himself up. And the attempt. Looks like it's going to curl through. It does, and he has tied the game. Floyd King with the conversion, and it is 7-7. An exciting match here in the boys D2 state championship.
We will keep an eye as this game goes on, kind of looking at the penalty counts and how many of these penalties are going to lead to tries. It is so often that penalties do lead to some scores. We see turnover ball often resulting in a lot of open field space, and that's exactly what the Mavericks were able to do. We have a situation here too with the kick receipt. If they're able to cleanly field the ball, if Middleton were to go deep, it sets up an opportunity where Middleton is launching forward in defense, but there might be some holes. Instead, what happens is this ball goes straight to touch. So Mavericks will have the option, if they wanted to re-kick, you don't really see that happen frequently, but they're likely to opt for the scrum center. So this is an unforced error by the Middleton team to kick the ball straight out of bounds.
On the fly, it goes into touch, and so we will take the scrum in the center. That appears to be Green Bay's call. With 15 minutes gone, halfway through this first half, we are tied up at 7 in the D2 state championship. Middleton on your left wearing green, Green Bay on your right wearing red and black as we get ready for the scrum.
Again, Nick Heim with the put-in.
Ready.
Taps, drops, and the ball is in.
The ball is out. It was out quickly.
And that one actually rolling away. Green Bay able to track back and grab it and then just hustle around the corner, run right through a tackler, and just drive to the touchline. What a play by Austin Brainier. Had the try just a moment ago and crushing it up the far side of the field.
We'll have a line out to Middleton. I want to watch this defensively. On the last line out when the Mavericks were in defense, they actually inserted a jumper in their defensive line out. I'm not quite certain about that call because you're really trying to react to timing and things too. Traditionally, you see the first pod will lift someone saying, okay, you have to throw over around me. Looks now they're going a little more traditionally with their approach.
Middleton able to get it, but the ball is loose. They do track it down, though, deeper in their territory and hang on.
We see advantage being shown to Middleton for a knock-on by the Mavericks. But Middleton with the ball in hand, so we'll see if they can come up with a better play. This is the same young man that had that wonderful stiff arm earlier. Gavin Adler, a 3-year starter, has played every forward position, known as a Tasmanian Devil.
You can see why, just crashing through the lines. Let's hear the call from the referee.
Well, we look to see where Gavin ended up, and it's about the same line, the same plane on the field as where the actual infraction occurred. So better to reset for the scrum. There was no advantage gain, so that will bring the call back.
And it looks like Jameel Hackett for Green Bay is down on the ground. We've got the training staff coming in. Coach is there as well. Time goes out, and we will bring it back here to the booth. So far, the most even match I think that we've seen between D1, D2, and D3. This D2 match has definitely featured two teams that are well suited to playing against one another. We've got a great game on our hands.
I think they've been pretty even with their playing time, and when you see possession of the ball, where they've been on the field, deep in their own territory, deep in the other team's territory too, it has been a fairly even match. So it's going to be those little things that make the difference, looking at the penalties, looking at the turnovers, looking at a broken play or reaction when things are going well. There was that one kind of iffy scrum where the ball came out and then the pass was a little bit low, and it just seemed like neither team reacted quickly to the situation that presented itself. So either one team could have picked up the ball and run, or the other team could have been crushing in defense, and instead it was just a little bit awkward from the Mavericks in their communication there. So little things they can clean up, but that's what makes a difference in championship play.
We haven't, in the D1 game, we did not see a single yellow card. Plenty, you know, penalties like you're going to see in any game, but no yellow cards. In the D3 game, 6 yellow cards and a red card. So far in this game, not a single card. It's been well played by both teams.
Yeah, it's not really a common occurrence that you're going to see so many cards, especially when you are this late in the season. I think that the D3 game just kind of attested to the closeness of it. It was a tight affair, back and forth with scoring, you know, high adrenaline. And teams, you know, with different playing styles. So we see, you know, earlier Pulaski was a team that just thrived on transition ball, thrived on defense. We saw the West Side team, a very physical team. We saw the Chargers 2 team, a little more disciplined in their attack and what they were doing. So just every team playing to their strengths, and sometimes it creates some mismatches.
So off of the scrum, it is controlled by Middleton. Working in their half of the field, trying to get it back. It's knocked clear. And then a huge tackle once again delivered by the Green Bay Mavericks, but Middleton retains into the middle of the field. Cutting past the 22-meter line, trying to fight through, dragging a couple tacklers with him, but finally brought down.
We still have advantage being played on the knock-on by the Mavericks. So we'll see if Middleton's able just to get that last pass to the outside. It'd be great to see them and what they can do with a little bit of space. But right now, the Mavericks are just fearsome on defense, swarming over the ball every time it is out. When the ball is playable, so we see, you know, is the ball on the ground? Is it out of the ruck? Does the scrum have hands on it? This is going to go all the way back.
And
the
indeed,
initial infraction.
Green Bay had forced Middleton back probably 20, 30 meters there, just pushing them. But the advantage call goes against Green Bay.
This is going to be an offsides call. Help from our assistant referees. And a correction earlier, it is not Phil Winkler that's on the sideline, but rather Brad Cassetta. Phil Winkler on the far side, so that means Ted Sabilski is taking a breather.
As Middleton gets ready to restart here, just about 20 minutes on the clock, tied at 7 in the first half here. They will kick it into touch on that far side, a little bit over midfield, and we'll get started with a line out.
This is a Middleton team, again, that has some experience when it comes to state championships since losing in 2015. Their first year was back in 2005, and they got 5th place in the state in the Best of the Rest tournament in their very first year. 2011, they improved to 4th in Division II, moved to 2nd in 2012. 2013, repeated 2nd place again. 2014, they were 3rd in Division II, and then 2015, 2nd in Division I.
Middleton,
familiar with the playoffs.
Middleton, a little trickery on the line out. It doesn't go for much. Now they're looking to advance it here. Pick the ball up and keep it rolling. Found a little seam there is number 13, Antonio Gonzalez, and he feeds it along to Antoine Thomas. Thomas dragged to the line.
A great covering tackle by Austin Beaumere from West De Pere for this Mavericks team. I think saved his team a try. And now they have an opportunity for a line out. So this is also going to be a turnover ball, an opportunity for the Green Bay to counter. But great work getting the ball downfield. We saw quick passing from this Middleton team, getting the ball outside, able to find some space.
Antoine Thomas nearly turned the corner. The senior from Madison Memorial headed to Madison College next year, but a great job by Green Bay to stop him up. And they will get the throw in on the line out. Jameel Hackett still in the game after the injury timeout. Good to see him playing.
Interesting tactic here by Middleton. They've got 5 men in their defensive line out to a full 7-man line out to the Mavericks team. Mavericks able to control the ball well. So we'll see what kind of defensive pressure Middleton puts on. Great pass by the Mavericks. Sometimes that flat pass is a fantastic option. They move the ball so quickly, but Middleton doing well to cover.
Mavericks, I think, might have turned this one over. The ball's still confused, and now it is the Mavericks that come up with it near their own 5-meter line, turning the corner, trying to get to the far side, gang tackled by about 6 different Middleton players.
So we're going to see the ball come. Well, it seemed like the referee was indicating advantage, but now having a little bit of conversation with his assistant referee on the far touch line.
Yep. Okay. That's where we're going. Time is off. Let's get that guy to short. It's going to be, they have a red advantage for playing in the ruck, so it's going to be a red penalty here, okay? Time is off for the substitute or for the equipment injury.
So we had one player that had a problem with his shorts and is going to have to get those corrected. Stopping the clock at 22:30 as we now started back up.
And play will resume with the penalty to the Mavericks. So once again, saw advantage being played. Tried to get to the sideline, not quite there. Middleton's defense shifting, doing well to get left and right laterally across the field. So they've contained the Mavericks since that initial turnover. And we'll see what they can do via the boot of Floyd King.
King with a solid punt. It's not grabbed by Middleton. Green Bay tried to get the loose ball. And Middleton, though, spills it up now, and Green Bay takes it back. Finding a little bit of space. A one-handed toss back as Green Bay continues to advance, finally dragged down, and they'll get it into the ruck. Just pick up and go as they drive forward to the 10-meter line. Green Bay still moving with this ball as we're tied 7-7 with 23:19 on the clock in this first half.
I like this play here from both sides. Middleton being patient, calm in defense. Mavericks with great support on offense. Now let's see if they can convert on the outside. That is an unfortunate error, but they had penalty advantage again. I would be looking fairly soon for a card to be issued. This is a high penalty count now against this Middleton team. So many inside of this Green Bay half of the field. They need to fix their defensive struggles.
A lot of confusion there, a lack of communication. You could tell for Green Bay, number 11, Vincent Lemieux was on the outside. He clearly thought one of the upbacks was going to grab it, and so didn't take as much of a run at it as he might have. That's what lets it go into touch. Now the kick into touch from Green Bay, and they will advance ahead of the 10-meter line to take the throw. 24:09 on the clock, tied at 7 in the first half of this boys Division II Wisconsin State Championship game.
So throwing the ball in with the red scrum half is going to be Jameel Hackett out of Green Bay East High School. He is going to UW Green Bay next year. He actually canceled his graduation party today to play in the state championships. So hopefully it pays off.
Great for him to be here. Nicely grabbed by Green Bay. Oh, and dragged down.
That was a great play by Trevor Jones. The ball was out, the lineout was over, so he can come through as soon as it's coming off of the hands of that receiver. So able to bust through the middle.
I like the punt here from Green Bay. They send it all the way back to the end goal of Middleton. Middleton has it there. They've got one man to play. And there is the whistle.
So the penalty to Middleton, you saw them trying to take advantage of it right away. You actually have the option on the field if you're the team that has advantage to say, you know what, ref, I don't want it. You can just get your penalty. A lot of teams think that you have to like knock the ball on intentionally in order to get play to stop. But if you want the penalty, you can just say, ref, like, and they'll give it to you. They'd rather have you communicate than do some like the dark arts when it comes to rugby. So we saw him kind of run back and put the ball down.
That one was headed our way. Nails one of the porta potties back behind us. And so the throw-in will come right at the 22-meter line. It'll be taken by Victor Cabrera. He has the try for Middleton at 4:30 in this first half. Got about 4.5 minutes to go. Still tied at 7.
This is a Middleton team that built and continued building when it came to the playoffs. We have a couple players that actually have just been on the team for the last 2 weeks that joined just for the playoff push. So when we look at certain substitutions, Anton Thomas out of James Madison is in his first year, known for his big speed. We also see Oh, I had this just a moment ago. James Pabst from Middleton. He runs a 4.440. He's going to be an impact sub when he does come onto the field, and likes Mozart.
Good on him. Excellent composer, that Mozart.
We'll see if he's as composed on the field.
Had to go for that pun. It was right there. Victor Cabrera getting ready for the toss. Puts it up high. It's tapped by Green Bay. Nobody comes up with possession. Now Green Bay's got it dragged down, but they will have possession.
It's going to be advantage to Middleton, so look at that.
Wow, a kip up from number 1 of Green Bay, Zachary Sally. And he's a big man too, like a solidly built guy. You don't usually expect them to do the Bruce Lee kip up. A nice move there.
There are 2 teams with many talents.
Indeed.
I'm really intrigued, though, by this Middleton lineup because it's so deliberate. You can see all their body positions. Everything is right, but the execution not quite there. So perhaps it's the wind. It's not the strongest wind I've ever played in.
No, it's definitely much better than it was earlier in the day as Middleton looks to continue bringing it forward. Drag down. They quickly get it out of the ruck, though, and move it off to the far side. Another errant pass, but it is grabbed off the ground, and they retain possession. Having some trouble with the ball handling here as we continue along the 22-meter line. Middleton not gaining any space. And that ball just loose on the ground here. Now grabbed by Middleton, and they drive forward. Now we're picking up some yardage as Middleton presses on.
That's a good break by Middleton, finally getting past the 22-meter line, able to break a little bit of this Mavericks defense that's been so composed on the field. When you look across, we see so many red and black jerseys in that flat defensive line. Look at this now, though. Look at how many Mavericks players are kind of caught behind.
And the Mavericks grab the ball. They take it away. You called it. With the defensive effort, they get the turnover, and now they'll work it at just outside of Middleton's 22-meter line.
With 2 minutes to go, if you are this Mavericks team, you are wanting to score. If you are Middleton and you're pinned deep into your territory, you're looking to prevent it. If they can get a break, of course, that would be the best thing. But this has been a lot of Mavericks possession and a lot of Mavericks pressure for the last 5 minutes or so of this half.
Floyd King goes down. He gets it back to Zachary Sally. Sally taken down in basically the same spot. That ball loose now and poked back into the hands of number 8, Robinson. Robinson brought down as the Green Bay Mavericks still fighting here inside of the Middleton red zone.
I would like to see them get some width. So many picks and goes. They're running into the same players, the same Middleton people. You see a nice defensive pressure from this Middleton team. This Mavericks team needs to get it outside. Now, they've got a penalty. There are 80 seconds left in this first half. Do they have the kicker? Does Floyd King want this?
He's got the ball in his hands. We'll see what he's going to decide.
The coach in me just wants to scream for him to go and take the kick. To go up 10-7 at halftime would be such an advantage. Hopefully this option pays off. You always let the players on the field choose their choice with confidence.
The tap and touch, and there they've got a corner chance. Green Bay pushing to the edge. Can't get all the way down. They pick it up out of the ruck and continue to just push, humping those legs, trying to get going. Finally down, the ball loose. They carry it forward in the person of Kadeem DeBerry. Driving towards the end goal. 30 seconds left in this half. They flip it out, and they're going deep onto that left side. He's got more open space. Had to adjust to get it. What a tackle by Middleton to prevent the try. And we're into touch. Oh, man, if that pass could have been a little bit cleaner, caught him in stride. He is gone, but Middleton with a saving tackle from Antoine Thomas.
I believe that was actually Devin Jackson. He is the wing on this near side of the field, again, with some of these jersey changes, wearing the number 18. He's a second-year player. He's their leading try scorer with 18 tries, and just showing off some of that speed that helps him get to the goal line, making that try-saving cover tackle. Middleton with a line out. Mavericks are going to look to disrupt. They've been successful disrupting these lineouts.
But Middleton,
and here it is again.
Devin Jackson was himself stopped on a try. Green Bay with some fancy footwork off of the line out. Great job to keep it moving forward to Jameel Hackett. Hackett taken down, but the ball's still alive, and now it's Zachary Sally.
I would love to see Mavericks get it out wide. They've got numbers, they've got space. They're playing so tight here between the 5 and the 15. Rugby needs to be played on the full field. Again, another chance if they can move the ball away from the contact. We often talk about, yes, you can have a breakdown on another one, but then get it 2 passes away, find the open space. They have an opportunity here. It's hard. You get tunnel vision when you're this close to scoring.
King flips it in, and just charging ahead is Robinson. Robinson trying to just brute force his way into that end goal. The ball loose, and it looks like it may have been taken away by Middleton. Both teams battling over the top of it inside the 5-meter line. Robinson to the end goal. He's still short, but he gets it back to his team. Hackett trying to get in. He's taken down. The ball near the end goal line. Whistle from the official.
So the try is held up. We're going to see a 5-meter scrum. Now, don't forget, we had stoppage time from when we had the shorts malfunction.
So
there is a little more time than there is on the scoreboard clock. It looks like there might be another minute or so left to play. Of course, our referee, Anthony DeVito, with the official time. Again, I would just love to see the Mavericks get this ball wide. They're hardly using the other 60 meters of space to the right side of the field. The space is there. This Middleton team has proven that they can play swarming defense. So, if they're going to score, they need to take advantage of the easier options in front of them. Sounds like we've got 2 minutes left to play, according to our referee. But an impassioned plea just to spread the field. And I'm saying this as a forward.
As the ruck goes out, and we've got it, the scrum is taken. Robinson pushing his way towards that end goal, barreling in. He's down at the goal line, but not in.
He meets his match in number 8, Trevor Jones. So far, Jones and...
Flip it in. There's a chance for number 12. It's a try. And they get the score. Clayton Knott taps it down, and the Mavericks will bring this half to a conclusion, or very nearly so. With a try, they lead 12-7 with the conversion attempt to come. 32-36 and counting on the clock.
Get the ball to their backs, and they get the try. We've seen masterful performances all day long by the inside centers in all of these games. If we look at the replay here, diving over, and something that's great about that play too is that he did use the force of his body to dive down. He didn't try to do anything fancy. He was not going to get held up. When you think about that much mass diving over the line, it is hard to stop. A great try and needed by this Mavericks team, taking huge momentum into the second half. It looks like we're going to have time for one last kickoff, so we'll see if Middleton can answer. How amazing would that be?
Absolutely. The conversion, no good from Green Bay, and so it remains 12-7. We'll see if that comes back in a close game to be a problem. Kickoff fielded by Green Bay, and they will send it right back and across the midfield line.
So some cheeky tactical play out of both teams. I like the option by Middleton. They were trying to see if they could draw a knock-on with that kickoff, guaranteeing that it would go 10 downfield. Then we see the kick back from the Mavericks. Could have been kind of dangerous, but it was placed well, and we still have a contest here at midfield.
Loose ball, and that one's picked up by Hackett. Hackett of Green Bay hustling forward, looking to get his team a rock. No, it's taken away by Middleton, Michael Verhoeven.
Referee said the ball is out. In that situation, there's no more offsides line. You can just go for it.
Verhoeven with a nice job. Nearly a pickoff from Green Bay, but here we go. Racing forward is Middleton. A pass to the far side. The far near side. Goodness gracious, I'm so excited as we battle over the ball here near the 22-meter line of Green Bay. Going back deep is Middleton.
So we see the offload pass coming from this Middleton team. I believe that was, again, number 7, Gavin Adler, looking a little bit behind the back action. We see Middleton trying to go quick and draw another penalty. If the team is not back 10, then they will get another penalty, march back another 10. Advantage being shown to the Middleton team. Let's look at the service here from our scrum half, Mo
And
Humboldt.
here he goes. He's around the corner. One ankle tackle. Labidi does it. It's a try for Middleton. Number 19, Harvey Bailey, tapping it down with 34:40 and counting on the clock. He ties it at 12. Pending the conversion attempt.
Another just correction, because we did have some Middleton jersey changes. This is Ortez Lockett. He's a third-year player for this team, a forward that moved into the backs position. This is a team where we've seen that a lot of their players started as this, moved to that, finding their best 15 athletes on the field. He loves to tackle, and he's also been listed as a downhill runner. He went down for the try. Key action here. So in the final 2 to 3 minutes of play, we've seen 2 tries from both teams, still going into halftime, likely with a tie. It's a difficult conversion kick, not impossible.
Definitely taking it out on the very far edge, and he's going to step back solid 5, 6, 7 meters from the 22-meter line to take this attempt. Getting the field worked just like he wants it. It's number 14, Ben Litchfield, to take this attempt, and as the Mavericks miss theirs, this could be the lead for Middleton. We're tied at 12 presently as Litchfield gets ready.
I would love to see him make this kick.
This is a tough one. This is from way out at a very difficult angle. The wind has calmed, at least at the moment. Still blowing, but not nearly so hard. As he gets ready, and here it comes. Just hit the big green ball first, did not get enough on it. The conversion knows good. Both teams have missed one, and we head to halftime with the score tied at 12 in, I think, the most exciting of these games that we've seen today.
And very evenly matched with the physicality of these teams. Solid defense. We've seen impressive performances. I want to just shout out this Middleton number 8, Trevor Jones, and their number 18, Devin Jackson, both covering and saving tries. We could see Mavericks up by quite a bit. Instead, they aren't. Mavericks have done well, especially to disrupt this Middleton lineout that's giving them some platforms off of these set pieces. I want to see what adjustments these coaches make in the second half. Thrilled to see what happens next.
We'll bring it back to you in just a minute. We're going to head to break. You're watching OCA Media's presentation of the Wisconsin Boys State Rugby Championship. Don't go anywhere.
At Oregon Community Bank, our purpose for over 38 years has been to serve our customers. Our goal is to help them improve their financial lives with innovative banking products and services, coupled with unparalleled customer service. Doing banking the right way, bringing our skills and expertise to improve the financial stability to individuals and businesses is how we have grown. We call this Feel Good Banking. So give us a call. Drop into one of our convenient branches or connect online at OregonCommunityBank.com. Feel good about banking again.
There's no cost for imagination, no charge for dreams, no limit to what we can accomplish together. It takes grit, determination, but mostly it takes you. They are your ideas, your visions. We're here to help. Early mornings, late nights, heavy loads. We are real people turning extraordinary dreams into reality. Sunbelt Rentals. Your ideas, our equipment.
Your Social Security disability benefits have been denied.
You're upset, and maybe you're scared.
You need to appeal and get those monthly checks, but you've never done anything like this before.
It might be your first time, but not ours.
The Becker Law Office has helped over 10,000 people in Wisconsin appeal for disability benefits.
Disability law is all we do.
Call 1-800-254-7766, the Becker Law Office.
Welcome back, everyone. Zach Seeloff, Liz Entwistle here with you at the Wisconsin Rugby Complex in Cottage Grove. And Liz, for this D2 championship game, Middleton versus Green Bay, 2 tries apiece, 1 conversion made apiece, 1 solid try-saving tackle apiece. These teams have been mirror images of each other for the first half.
I think if there's anything that separates the two teams is that we did see Middleton committing quite a few penalties. We heard the referee often commenting that they weren't releasing. So they need to clean that up if they're going to play a clean second half. I think that they're lucky that the Mavericks haven't scored off of some of those opportunities, but that's a testament to the Middleton defense. I'd also like to see some of the line-out confusion cleaned up, and we'll see what changes and substitutions we have coming here in the second half. But it's been an exciting game so far.
It sure has. We'll bring it back to you in just about 90 seconds. We're going to go to one last break, and we'll have the second half for you. Stay tuned. You're watching OCA Media's coverage of the Wisconsin State Rugby Championship.
OCA Media Sports would like to thank our generous sponsors for helping make this programming possible. Oregon and Waunakee Community Banks, your locally owned full-service bank, offering locally serviced, commercial, and residential loans. Feel good banking. Becker Law Office. At Becker Law Office, Social Security disability appeals are all we do. Call us today for a free consultation. Sunbelt Rentals. Have a large job or weekend project? Turn to Sunbelt Rentals for all your equipment needs. LaRue Construction. Your #1 choice for remodeling, additions, and new home construction. Do it right the first time. Choose LaRue Construction. Taking pride in what we do. Clover Products. Designing and manufacturing long-range microphones here in Wisconsin since 2012, with uses ranging from NFL sidelines to law enforcement to wedding videos. The Wisconsin Rugby Referee Society, promoting and growing the sport of rugby union football at all ages. Madison United Rugby, supporting and developing athletes for national and international amateur rugby competition. Madison United Rugby coordinates, and supports its member rugby clubs.
We are covering the Division II Wisconsin State Rugby Championships for the boys in 15s rugby here. After 30 minutes, it is tied at 12 between Green Bay Mavericks, who are now on our left, and the Middleton Area Rugby Club on our right. We talked about it at the intermission break, very evenly matched teams, but both teams have a little bit they can adjust. For Middleton, it's definitely the penalties that they want to knock out in the second half.
I know Middleton will be bringing in some substitutes when it comes to the second half. Got some information from their assistant coach, Paul Strode, known as Guido. He's been a long-time presence here when it comes to Wisconsin rugby. Played for the Wisconsin Rugby Club from 1997 to 2014. Was part of their 1998 Division II National Championship team, as well as their 2013 National Championship team. So some pretty nice bookends, some symmetry when it comes to the teams. Of course, his wife, a fantastic player in her own right. Nicole, a fantastic teammate of mine back in the day, too. And they've got a son, Carson, who will be in a Wisconsin Rugby Club jersey soon enough.
Excellent. We see the third place team getting their trophy here. It looks like possibly their opponent did not appear, but either way, taking third place in the state. Congratulations to them as they walk off, and as Middleton walks in for the initial kick. They're in green, moving right to left in this half. Green Bay in the red and black stripes, moving left to right. 30 minutes to decide a winner. We're tied at 12 as we head into this second half.
We see a big hole to the left side of the field. If you are this Middleton kicker, I'd be looking to kick just about 15 meters, splitting between where there is one gentleman, the hooker, straight in front of the kicker, but here to the near side of the field, there is a 30-meter gap worth of space.
The drop kick goes instead to the right to the 22-meter line. Green Bay starts off there and drives forward into the ruck as they look to play it back out. Just collapsing forward, not really picking up a lot of yardage off that one. And they'll flip it off to the side this time. Struggling, trying to move. A nice job to hand that one off to the teammate and just battle forward. Middleton trying to rip it out, and they're not able to. And Green Bay continues to control. Now they're bowling ahead. And this is number 8, Robinson. Robinson just will not be stopped. Forced to dribble it back as Green Bay looks to work their way forward. And you can see players putting their hands up as the teammate behind them with the ball, not wanting to be in a blocking position at all. Hackett now with it for Green Bay. And he's taken down across the 10-meter line.
Robinson holding his shoulder here. There are several players on this Green Bay team that were wearing braces as they were warming up. He is in pain. We'll have to keep an eye on that situation. That would be a key player for this Mavericks team to lose. Right now, another key player making his way downfield.
What a spin move from Zachary Sally to get that one forward. Hackett now across midfield.
Someone hit the Z button. This is the guy that did the kip earlier. He's an agile number 1.
He is outstanding here. And boy, players being dragged to the ground, but now it's Middleton that comes up with the loose ball, but Green Bay grabs it right back.
This is going to get cleaned up. There is going to be multiple infractions when it came to the back and forth, diving over, rolling away, all kinds of things. It goes Middleton's way. So we see the tap and go from the Middleton number 19. And I believe that to be Ortez Lockett.
Middleton tackled down across the 10-meter line, roll it back and continue on. Moving it to the outer edge of the field. And they'll go for a little punt. Spins off towards that far side, and a nice forward-looking tackle.
And advantage was being played. So it's a good opportunity to kick downfield and see what can work. You have nothing to lose. If it pays off, you're further downfield. You've had a really neat chip and go. In this situation, it's going to be a penalty regardless. So Middleton with some open, fair, free play.
Offsides against Green Bay. Liam Enright to take it for Middleton on the penalty call. 32 minutes gone, and we remain tied at 12 in this D2 Boys State Championship. Tap and go as they run it forward. Nice layoff behind and continuing to dig through, just not wanting to give up and then thrown back.
So it's Gavin Adler again, proving himself to be quite the player when it comes to winning, dominating the contact area, buying his team extra time and extra meters. Couldn't quite buy them that connection for the pass on the outside. This is going to be a line out to the Mavericks.
We have seen some struggles with the passing from both of these teams when it's gotten anything longer than just a quick toss. They've had a little trouble bringing it in. In this case, the line out will favor Green Bay. Jameel Hackett wearing the headgear to take it.
So we see Middleton set up, anticipating this is going to be a second jumper lift. Look at this first lifter turning and facing, so that way he can make a tackle immediately as soon as the line out is done. The ball not quite straight, but it looks like advantage being played to Green Bay. A great take by their number 8, Trevor Jones.
Standing grab for Middleton on that one, and they will race it forward right at the midfield line. Stiff arm delivered as they keep it moving. Good pitch to the outside there on the far side. Great tackle by Green Bay there to keep him from getting the edge and working forward.
We'll see if they can bring it back to the left side of the field now and go sideline to sideline. The space is there, and I think they're beginning to tire out this Mavericks team. We don't see the Mavericks aligning quite as quickly in defense. However, they are brought out of a sticky situation. A penalty to the Mavericks. We'll see if we get another kick to touch off the boot of Floyd King.
Yep, obstruction against Middleton is the call. King delivers this one into touch off that far side. And they will take the line out beyond the 10-meter line. 34 minutes gone, still tied at 12 in the second half of this boys Division II state championship. Thanks so much for joining us on OCA Media. Whether you're watching us on cable, on YouTube now, or later, we appreciate every viewer.
It'll be fun to follow the college career of Floyd King. He's going to be moving on to Lindenwood Belleville. This is a varsity scholarship program down in Belleville, Illinois, coached by WRC alum and national championship coach Joe Lippert. Floyd King will have some more free reign when it comes to the scrums at the college level. He'll be able to drive further downfield and be able to get a little bit more of a shift in the scrum, as well as they're allowed to go 90 degrees for a turn instead of just 45.
And he's a big man. When he can use that strength to its fullest, you know there's going to be a big impact on the field.
Yep, at the high school level, they're only allowed to drive 1 meter back and then the scrum is done, whereas at the elite level, when we're watching things like Major League Rugby with these professionals playing, they could keep marching it down as long as the ball stays under the feet of that number 8 at the back. This time it is a scrum to Middleton, put in by scrum half Mo Humboldt.
Rolls that one in. They're able to pick it out, and we roll on with Middleton still trying to drive it forward, heading toward that touchline, and the hand goes up from the assistant referee.
So we see it indicated that there was a knock-on. It was going to be advantage to the Mavericks. They have a little bit of a choice. If the ball is knocked into touch, you can actually opt for the line out or the scrum. In a situation, if the ball went to touch and nobody touches the ball and a line out isn't set, you can take a quick throw. So it's kind of like catching the other team off guard. Wouldn't really see it today with the WRC complex because of the sidelines and the spectators that we have here, but you will see it quite frequently in the game of sevens.
Throw in comes, and it's nicely grabbed by Green Bay right out of midair. Referee signaling the backs to stay away, and now we've got a Green Bay player just racing forward. Driving ahead is Nick Heim. Heim finally taken down across midfield, and we continue to battle here. The ball being pushed back. Green Bay losing ground, but continuing to fight.
I think that's one of the first solid attacking balls we've seen off of a line out all day. So well done by this Mavericks team. Now we can just have to see if they can get the ball and get ball out and get it wide. Instead, Middleton turning over a great counter ruck to steal possession.
Outstanding grab from Middleton. They get the turnover, take over right near midfield, and immediately send it along, and it's Floyd King's got him by the jersey, knocks the ball free, and moving ahead is number 12, Clayton Ott. And we've got the whistle from the official.
So Ott had that second try for this Green Bay team. The first one scored by that fullback, Austin Beaumier.
And we've got the captains here as referee looks in for his assistant referee. Let's listen in.
We have a scrum here for you guys.
Oh, I think that's very clear.
Makes it easy on us when he describes it like that. So it will be a scrum reset at the 10-meter line.
It's a forward pass by Middleton, so a scrum to Green Bay. They're right at the middle of the field, so they are going to set up with a split back position. Some teams will call this bananas, splits, get it? But this way they have the option to attack either direction. So we see the fullback inserted, we see that flying V, Mighty Ducks style shape, but trying to use a little bit of deception here, trying to force Middleton to choose one side or the other and see if they can come away with another score. Again, still tied 12-12, about 8 minutes into this second half of play.
Great scrum to Green Bay. The pass goes too long, though, and in midfield it's bobbled, and Middleton picks up the loose ball.
Middleton home crowd loving the action. This is a program that is based not too far away, and again, coached by several of the Wisconsin Rugby Club alumni. So Paul has stepped down from the head coach position. It's been taken over by Matt Bremser. Matt, the godfather of the team, started the team as a player, so he's been around this program for quite some time. Spent time playing at UW Milwaukee, was an assistant coach with the club from 2011 to 2016 when they saw some of their success. They also have Craig Peterson, who had a long career with what was then the Metropolitan Rugby Club in Minneapolis. He's then played with them when they merged to become Metropolis, and also was an assistant coach with the storied Hopkins program up in Minnesota too. And then of course Chase Jolly, who we interviewed during the halftime of that D3 action, another alumni of this Middleton team.
Middleton wins the scrum and drives it forward, working hard now on the far side, one man to beat, and he's knocked into touch at the last second. A try-saving shove out by Green Bay.
That is why you always go for the dive. You always go for the ankle tap. You never know what's going to happen. And here, that is a try-saving tip. It's actually interesting. Under Law 7 in the World Rugby Handbook, you are allowed to push players on the field. Now, you're not allowed to do things that are malicious, but it is something that is fair and is allowed. So if you can get that little shove and get him out of bounds, then you're saving your team a try, and in this case, you're winning your team a turnover.
The throw-in will come from Hackett for Green Bay. Green Bay does pick it up and immediately send it back to their lines. This one's going to go to Middleton, and Middleton taking it away. Great pitch back and just not quite caught cleanly.
So advantage to the Mavericks. I don't know if that Mavericks kick was intentional or if he was trying to cover up a knock-on. It looked like a weak rubber attempt, but did he have control of the ball? Is he trying to save it? It almost yielded a try to Middleton, but Mavericks defensive pressure still saving the day. So now we're going to have a scrum to the Mavericks.
And as you mentioned, Middleton only about half hour away from Cottage Grove here. Green Bay, three and a half hours. And there definitely is a larger contingent of Middleton fans for that reason. But both teams with a good fan base cheering them on as we get ready for the scrum. 40 minutes off the clock. We've got 20 left to go in this second half. We remain tied at 12 as Green Bay rolls the ball in.
So we hear the referee telling them to hold the drive too. They can't go more than a meter downfield.
Get a nice kick, but a good field by Middleton. They take it back across and are immediately driven down at the 10-meter line.
Good cover tackles again by this Mavericks team to halt what could have been a good Middleton counter.
And a loose ball, a nice kick, and here's Green Bay on the run. Across the 10-meter and moving forward is Alex Spitzer. Spitzer loses it though. Middleton can't grab it, neither team, and a whistle.
They're getting the sparks. They just need to stick the landing. Neither team finding any purchase when it comes to getting into the try area. We are still remain tied at 12-12. 19 minutes and counting in the second half.
And it's a scrum for Middleton here, right at their own 22-meter line.
We have a player down on the Mavericks side. Looks like number 14, Nate Wilson, the senior from Green Bay West. It's going into law enforcement. So hopefully it's just a quick little niggle and he's able to get back to his feet. When play does resume, we will have a scrum right at the 22, scrum to Middleton.
It's a little bit water and referee commenting on the air quality. I have to say, the pollen this season has been out of control. If you have hay fever, this has been a rough year for you.
That's an element that affects both teams equally.
Indeed.
So no complaining allowed on that one. That's kind of like, oh, it's such a muddy day. Well, both teams had to play in the mud. Both teams play in rain or play in heat. I think we're quite fortunate. This is so much better. The Illinois State Championships were held on Monday. It was 117 degrees on the field.
Monday was not the best day to play any sport, let alone rugby. As Middleton picks it up off of the scrums, got some speed,
this
yanked down,
penalty.
Horse collar, and the referee goes right for his pocketbook. Let's see what he says.
I didn't see very much, so yeah, we're going to stop for the card.
So we're going to have a little bit of a chat with this Green Bay Mavericks captain.
Lloyd, we had too many of these. This one was particularly egregious.
And it's a yellow card, and you can hear why exactly. A good explanation from the referee. Alex Spitzer will be sent to the bench for 10 minutes.
That can be a momentum changer here. You're losing not only just all player on the team, but you're losing your starting fly half. So this means you're going to have a couple of adjustments when it comes to this Mavericks team. They get to stay even in the scrums. For a second, I was worried that Floyd was going to be sent off, but he was just getting spoken to as a captain of the team, making sure that everyone is aware of what's going on.
It's something I really like about rugby, as I'm new to the game, certainly as Middleton brings it in here. But the referees definitely play a dual role as both enforcers and educators, and I like the way they handle the discussion with players regarding fouls on the field.
Love these driving tackles. Talk about leg drive that we've seen earlier in the day with teams on offense, but Green Bay is driving this middle team back, so maybe playing with a little bit of a fire in their belly. We see a penalty here in the tackle situation.
And that one goes against Green Bay. And Middleton will bring it back in. Rushing hard, carrying well. Couldn't get that pass off, but probably wise not to try to throw it at the last end. And now Middleton's got some space on the edge. Working across midfield and into Green Bay territory. They retain possession. Working across is Liam Enright. Enright breaks into the open. He's got one man left. Hackett takes him from behind, but Enright still driving forward for the Middleton Area Rugby Club. 43-25 on the clock, tied at 12, and Middleton threatening here. Across the line is 12, Ortez Lockett. Lockett at the 5-meter line, slips an ankle tackle to the goal, and it's a try for Middleton. They break it up, and we have a Green Bay player down behind the play. Face down on the turf, and he is hurt. Believe that is number 5, Dylan Danforth, and we need some support for Mr. Danforth. A great play from Middleton, and unfortunately a difficult injury for Green Bay as we get the training staff out. You can see on the replay here, managing to break free of the ankle tackle. Lockett just driving, what an effort play. He had to cover 6 or 8 meters with a man draped all around his legs. And Danforth is getting up and heading back to join his team. Great to see that. He gets a good round of applause from these fans.
Good effort all around from this Middleton team, able to take advantage of some of these mismatches. So we look at mismatches in terms of speed on the field. They obviously have the advantage with numbers on the field as well. But being able to break free from the tackle means that they are able to get to the open space that's there after what would have been some tenacious defense by this Mavericks team. This is going to be an important conversion attempt here from Middleton. Ben Litchfield, again, perfect in the playoffs so far. We'll see if he can keep that streak. Although he did miss just at the end of the first half, a very difficult kick.
Unfortunately broken for him, but he can go 2 of 3 here. This one does make it through. The kick is good. And so Middleton takes the 7-point lead, 19-12, with 44-45 on the clock, just about halfway through the second half. That yellow card proving to be costly for Green Bay. Very quickly after, they give up the try to Middleton, and they now trail by 7 in this D2 Boys State Championship game.
When you're a team that is down a player, when you're in that yellow card situation, you just hope that you can contain. You want to make sure that you prevent the other team from scoring. Of course, teams, just like in hockey, think about it like a power play. Right now we see the kick doesn't quite go 10 by Green Bay, but Middleton chooses to play the ball, so that is their choice. They are going to play on. We're not going to see that reset for a scrum.
Big ruck from both teams here, and it's Green Bay that comes up with it. The ball loose once again, though. Middleton trying to get after it, and we get a whistle.
So now this is a large series of penalties against this Mavericks team, whereas we saw Middleton being penalized often in the first half. It's a little bit of a change of the tides here.
Liam Enright takes the spin move. He's across midfield, taps it down, gets back up, and now he'll send it back.
We have penalty advantage again for offsides against this Mavericks team. If they're not careful, they're going to draw themselves a second yellow.
What a wise play there from Middleton. A great little one-touch pass. Litchfield's got it now. He's around one man, and he's into open space. Ben Litchfield to the end goal. It's a try for Middleton.
It was a good chase by the Mavericks, number 6, James Dawson, but couldn't quite get there. What I love about this play by Middleton's Litchfield is that he took the angle towards the middle. It is easy to track on defense and catch a player from behind when they stay running straight. By taking that angle, he's drawing people off the line. Look at this break to get through. He beats his man, and then he is nose to the in goal. But by taking that angle, it's not a clean line of tackle. It's not a clean line of pursuit. It is well played, so we'll see if Litchfield can add the extras again. So he's looking to see if he can score 9 points here in a series of about 90 seconds.
Can't hurt to have that from your teammates. Middleton, a 24-12 advantage. They can make it 26-12 here. 46-42 on the clock, and they are pulling away in what has been up till this point a very tightly contested D2 Boys Championship game.
Well, we cannot forget that this try also originated from a Mavericks penalty. They have the man in the sin bin. They're giving away careless penalties. Offsides and things like that can be very easily cleaned up. You just take the extra step back. Make sure you're behind the last foot of the ruck. There are things that they're going to have to clean up if they're going to stay in this game. But right now, this yellow card is costing them costing them a 2-try deficit and 2 conversion deficits. So it is quick work. Middleton going up 26-12, doing exactly what you want to do. I think this is going to be a happy coaching staff. The fans loving it here.
You can lay 14 points at the foot of a yellow card against Green Bay, the very first yellow card of this game, and it proves to be decisive. With 47-36 to go, Green Bay trails by 14, 26-12 in favor of the Middleton Area Rugby Club.
So Middleton still with the one-man advantage. Like you said, Floyd King with the kickoff.
Yep,
well-placed kick to the left side of the field.
It is, and it rolls into touch over near the Middleton bench on the far side.
Line out, green.
Middleton will take the line-out throw.
Nope, didn't go out.
Impressive, worth noting that Ben Litchfield is actually just a sophomore in his first year of playing rugby. I think this is a kid people should keep their eyes on. I know I'm going to be recruiting him for my Stars Rugby Sevens under-20 All-Star team. So if he'd be interested in a trip to Salt Lake City, I think he's got a big upside. If he's doing this well in just 1 year of playing, imagine what he would do playing against accelerated higher-level competition.
They're going to love having him back for the next 2 seasons. A low throw-in from Middleton, and they take it right ahead.
It's a good choice given the issues that they had with the lineouts earlier, just making sure that they maintain possession of the ball. They don't want to give Mavericks an in to get back into this game. This is one of the danger men for this Middleton team. Doing well with the ball in the midfield is Trevor Jones.
Middleton working it nicely. They've got a great sense for when to pass and when to hold it. So far, that's been working in their favor. Driven back here by a stout Green Bay defensive attack, and now Green Bay comes up with the ball on the turnover and driving it towards the Middleton end.
That is great counter-rucking. They just blew Middleton off the ball, and they've got the whole field open if they could just get it to the right side. This is what was kind of frustrating me as a spectator earlier.
And here it is, and instead running right into the teeth of defense. But you're absolutely right. If they can flip it here to this far side, they might get a chance. Now carrying it is Hackett. Hackett breaking through, and he's into the red zone. They miss the tackle, and he drives even further in.
And now it's a penalty to Green Bay. So again, they've got an opportunity here just about 19 meters from the goal line.
Floyd King takes it quickly, blows a man up at the 5-meter line, just absolutely air conditions him, and now we head to the goal line. It's a try for number 16, Charlie Kreischer. He brings it in, and how about Floyd King setting that up? Just explodes a man at the 5-meter line, gets his team into position, and Charlie finishes the job.
Good field awareness to go quick on that penalty, and that is a hard tackle to make if you're the Middleton team. Well done with support with this Green Bay team. We're going to be near the end of this yellow card, so would love to see them just take their time on this kick.
And we see here on the replay Hackett moving things into position, continuing forward as he gets dragged down. And then it'll be King that just takes this one kind of quickly.
So again, penalties at the breakdown are leading to tries. Both teams giving up tries by not releasing at the tackles or coming from offside positions. Again, things that they need to fix and clean up in order to play. But what a game we have here. Back and forth action, sitting at 26-17 pending the conversion kick. We'll see if Floyd King can convert his own try to bring it within 7.
Huge opportunity here for Green Bay. Need to put this one in, make it a 1-score game. 50-45 on the clock. King delivers the boot. It's got enough distance, and it is no good. It goes wide to the right, and so the deficit remains 9. Middleton on top by 2 scores with about 9 minutes left to play.
I think we'll have a little bit of extra time. We've seen quite a few stoppages from our referee in the middle of the field, so that should play a key factor as this game winds down. We're going to see Mavericks back to full strength. It looks like their yellow card is brought back onto the field.
Great to see Green Bay staying in this game. Giving up 2 tries and 2 conversions back-to-back like that could disrupt the morale of a lesser team. Green Bay hanging in.
Looks like it's just one final play before they're allowed to bring their fly half back on.
on the kickoff, Green Bay fields, and delivers a nice boot back across midfield toward the Middleton 10-yard line. They're streaking after it well. If they can make this tackle, they do.
They've done well with this all day. That counter kick and chase downfield, trying to catch Middleton off guard. Middleton has fielded every ball cleanly, but they've put the pressure on defensive pressure. Defensive pressure again. The ball just barely going backwards here. A nice stiff arm here from Middleton, and it is being...
Oh boy, Middleton, a one-man effort from number 12 of Middleton. The battle in the ruck here, both teams fighting for that ball, trying to get after it.
Neither team is getting it out. We have advantage being shown to Middleton, and here is the penalty.
Number 7, red, not rolling away.
It's an issue that's plagued both teams.
It is. 7 a little incredulous after that call, but we'll take the tap and go. And quickly after it, Liam Enright of Middleton, we've seen him do this before, and he gets down and pitches it back. Middleton into the ruck once more. Across midfield, no gain there, and they're forced back.
See advantage being shown to Middleton again. Looks like there may have been a couple knocks in that ruck before. A couple players slow to get back up, most notably, again, the Mavericks, number 8. Kislem Robinson taking a couple of hits, and it was a Middleton number 12, Ortiz Lockett. Now we've got the penalty to Middleton. Diving over, you have to keep your feet in these rucks.
52-52 on the clock. Middleton up by 9, 26-17 in the Division II Boys State Championship rugby match out here in Cottage Grove at the Wisconsin Rugby Complex. Zach Seeloff and Liz Entwistle in the booth here with you. Thanks so much for joining us on OCA Media. Whether you're watching now or later, we appreciate having you with us as Middleton gets ready to put things back in after the Green Bay penalty. Ty Matthews with it for Middleton.
Looks like they were indicating for Ty to go to touch on this near sideline. He opts to go on the far side of the field, nearly pulls off the play with his wing in action. That was looking for Ben Litchfield on the far side. Instead, it is the Mavericks that come away with the ball.
And what a run by the Mavericks, too, after the grab. Just took it and hustled toward midfield, and they break free and drag that one ahead. That was Khalil Carson pirouetting over midfield. The ball's still loose as both teams trying to get after it. And it looks like Green Bay comes up. They do, and it's pushed on back. Now Middleton's got it as they drive the other way, and Green Bay strips it again. Both teams just trading possession here as we continue to push toward the Middleton end. Green Bay with the ball. Picking it up and just taking a couple of meters in a cloud of dust here as they try and fight through. They've got it once more. King pushed back hard. A good tackle from Middleton. And on the loose ball, the turnover does go to Middleton, right near midfield where we continue to battle. 54-30 on the clock. Middleton with a 9-point lead, 26-17.
I was just waiting for the next penalty to occur at these breakdowns. These players are not getting away from the contact area quick enough, not getting to their feet. So we see these not rolling away calls persisting. No one seems to know what's going on the field right now.
Right, we've got a player down for Green Bay on that far side. But we are continuing to play on. We have a coach on the field tending to him as the game continues. So we will continue to play as this player lays out on the field. Middleton working up the far side. Litchfield can't corral that pass, and he's going to be brought down. And there is a whistle.
And we're going to go back to take sure.
Yeah, let's head back and check on this young man here. I can't see the number, not sure who it is. As the referee heads back, we'll listen in.
We're missing the connection with our referee here at the moment. It does look now that the Mavericks are back to full strength with 15 players. We'll see what they can do to end this game. That does look like it is number 8, Kislem Robinson, again for this Green Bay Maverick side. He's been holding his shoulder. He's been slow to get up from some of these tackles. They've got numbers on their bench. I would rather see a full-strength player on the field if possible. There's 15 minutes left. It's a close game, and he's been nursing that shoulder. Coaches and the player might know something I don't, but when I see a player like that too, it's just thinking, well, there's a full bench there.
He's not wanting to give it up, though, and credit to him for fighting through, but you can tell that right shoulder is bothering him. He's favoring that arm, just the way he's holding it, and he's wincing as he gets in to the scrum here. I sure hope that he'll be okay as we go through this game. Less than 5 minutes to go. 26-17 in favor of Middleton. Scrum for Green Bay. Tap it, drop it, and it's kicked on back by the Mavericks.
It's a good drive by the Middleton team. A strong defensive scrum trying to put the Mavericks under pressure.
Pass nearly picked off, and it is. Middleton grabs the interception, a great read, and they're able to take possession, turn it around the other way, and then with speed burst across the 10-meter line. Middleton keeps working it to the outside, look to send it back in, and instead that loose ball now covered up by Green Bay.
This will be advantage to Green Bay on the knock-on by Middleton. We saw the defender right there, so he heard the footsteps on offense, couldn't quite get the play. You have to always catch the ball first. A beautiful break here by Green Bay. He had one to beat, just tackled and tripped up on the sideline. But I see advantage shown to the Mavericks team, or perhaps the ball went off a Middleton player. Look to see the results of this line out here.
Taken care of. He's in. Awesome. All right. Just wanted to make sure.
We are going to have the line out on the far side. As we get ready, Middleton will throw it in. 3 minutes to go in this game.
Middleton inserting their jumper here on the line out, turned towards the outside, trying to use whatever
great
trickery.
Line out. What a throw in. They get it right to midfield. But that ball squirts free, and it's grabbed now by Green Bay with some space to work. Stopping up and turning back around is Alex Spitzer. Spitzer driving across, and Green Bay still alive here in this D2 championship game. Hackett takes it right away. Can't slip past one tackle, and is finally brought down.
They're going to have to do it on this side of the field. This Green Bay team is running out of energy. You can just see the body language of the players to the far side, hands on their hips, walking to place. They need a sense of urgency. There is less than 5 minutes to go in this state championship game. They're only down by 9. 2 scores are going to do it. 2 tries, a try and a penalty.
Floyd King with it there. He stopped up. Hackett gets it. He trips over King and goes down. And now we do get the whistle with 2 minutes to go.
So this looks like it's going to be perhaps it's going to be a scrum.
How do you play this strategy-wise? Let's say you get a penalty in a place where a penalty kick is reasonable. Do you take it right away, or do you keep pushing for that try?
No, I take the penalty. I take the penalty and go for 3 because you're going to have to score regardless, and then you really focus on that next try and a conversion kick.
We're going to get a scrum here, 58:30 on the clock. You hear the referee mentioning extra time there. We will have some amount of it when we hit 60 minutes.
I'll tell you the other thing I do, though, is that if I score a try here, I decline the kick for the conversion because you have to score again regardless. So they're down by 9. They only need 10 to win. Why eat up the clock by taking a 90-second conversion kick? When that happens, though, it has to be the try scorer that declines the kick. But they could go quick. They could go up-tempo. They have to get their score first.
And that's going to be a game awareness sort of a thing if Green Bay can get into the goal here. They're brought down by Middleton again. We're into the 59th minute. Middleton ahead 26-17. A solid tackle from Middleton there. And we get a whistle. And we have a man down. Another Green Bay player on the ground, trying to get back to his feet. I think he might have taken a kick to the eye there. It looked like he was rubbing his right eye. Yeah, either a kick or a ball or something into the eye, but is able to get up and get back moving again as the clock continues to run.
With
now
the player safety
timeout.
concern, this is going to be a scrum just to restart. There was not any sort of foul play that was involved. Some things are just incidental. Same thing, if the referee got in a way, it would restart with a scrum too.
Makes sense. So as the clock winds up again, 59:30 showing on the scoreboard, 26-17, the Middleton lead over the Green Bay Mavericks. We're ready for the scrum.
For the Mavericks looking to go all in, I'd bring that weak side wing over to the strong side of the field as well. They've got their fullback was inserted to start, but now it looks like they're anticipating that it was going to go left. They've lost this scrum. It is now Middleton on the attack. Look at this run, fleet feet on the far side of the field.
Middleton flying and a try-saving tackle, but will there be enough time for Green Bay to get it back? Middleton just screaming up the field on that outside edge, as we've seen them do so often before.
Such quick turnover with the just the speed that was generated there too. It is going to be a line out to Mavericks. They are running out of time. We are in the stoppage time in the extra period. Well, I shouldn't say extra period rather, but just the extra time that the referee has. We had quite a few minutes earlier, and now this is going to come back to a forward pass. So that run for naught, it's going to be a scrum to the Mavericks.
And the assistant referee helping out, indicating that forward pass. So we head all the way back to the area where the pass was thrown. 60-45 on the clock, and that missed conversion looming large here. If they had made that, the try could tie it. Instead, they need 2 scores still with precious few ticks left on that clock.
45 seconds, guys. Ready?
45 seconds, the call from the referee, so they are going to have to get up and go. The scrum rolls in. Green Bay looking to try and take it back. Middleton fighting over it as well. Green Bay trying to dig that one out. They finally do. And here we go as the ball rolls away. They kick it forward. About the only thing they could do, but Ben Litchfield of Middleton's got it.
We're going to go back to an infraction here at the scrum. This is almost certainly going to be a penalty to the Mavericks. Otherwise, this wouldn't stop the play. Middleton with the ball in hand. If it had been a penalty in their favor, they would have had advantage to keep going.
Floyd
so now,
King setting up. Is he close enough, you think, to kick this one in, or are they going to have to play it? Nope, he's going to
go for a pitch from before when he set up that try that tied the game.
He hands it back. They continue to battle forward. 61-48 on the clock.
They've got to protect the ball here. This is the second, third time that this ball has just come out of a breakdown.
Middleton just swarming all over them here, trying to break free that time. Zachary Sally, nothing doing. Now Green Bay stripped of it, and it's Middleton that comes up with the loose ball. Great pickup on the one hop off the ground. Litchfield now in the middle of the field. He is brought down, but Middleton retains, and we get into a ruck.
It's actually one of the Middleton second rows. Litchfield-esque, but Litchfield's still here on our near sideline.
Excuse me, misidentified him. Spin that one towards midfield, getting after it. Robinson, who we mentioned earlier, he's not able to pick that one up, but it is a knock-on to Middleton, and Green Bay will take it the other way. That will do it. Middleton, your Division II state champions. They defeat the Green Bay Mavericks 26-17. We've got a couple of players on the ground, overwhelmed, both with joy and with sorrow from both teams. Congratulations, Middleton, on the victory.
That was a thrilling game of rugby here in the boys D2 state championship for the state of Wisconsin. Both teams should hold their heads high. Certainly learning opportunities, things that both teams could improve and take away from this match. Right now, if you're Middleton, you have to savor this victory. This is their first state championship ever when it comes to boys high school rugby. So coming here at the Division II level, they have been in the finals so many times before. For this Mavericks team, it was a solid effort, such good physicality. We saw thrilling tackles from both sides. Again, that yellow card proving the nail in the coffin.
That yellow card is the difference in this game. Middleton will take home the Kraft Cup. They are your Division II state champions in Wisconsin boys rugby. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back. You're watching OCA Media's coverage of the Wisconsin State Rugby Championship. Stay tuned.
OCA Media Sports would like to thank our generous sponsors for helping make this programming possible. Oregon and Waunakee Community Banks, your locally owned full-service bank, offering locally serviced, commercial, and residential loans. Feel good banking. Becker Law Office. At Becker Law Office, Social Security disability appeals are all we do. Call us today for a free consultation. Sunbelt Rentals. Have a large job or weekend project? Turn to Sunbelt Rentals for all your equipment needs. LaRue Construction. Your #1 choice for remodeling, additions, and new home construction. Do it right the first time. Choose LaRue Construction. Taking pride in what we do. Clover Products. Designing and manufacturing long-range microphones here in Wisconsin since 2012, with uses ranging from NFL sidelines to law enforcement to wedding videos. The Wisconsin Rugby Referee Society, promoting and growing the sport of rugby union football at all ages. Madison United Rugby, supporting and developing athletes for national and international amateur rugby competition. Madison United Rugby coordinates, and supports its member rugby clubs.
Welcome back, everybody. Zach Seeloff here for OCA Media's coverage of the Wisconsin State Rugby Championship. If you're just joining us, we've had D1, D2, and D3 action. The first game of the day, D3, it was the Chargers falling in that game. They dropped it 17-12, losing the D3 state championship. And D1 action, Pulaski defeating the other Chargers team 48-5. An outstanding game from those Pulaski Roos. And in this game, the D2 state championship, Middleton beating Green Bay Mavericks 26-17 in a very, very tightly contested game. The difference in this game was a yellow card in the second half. And that was what allowed Middleton to get their 2 tries in the second half and get the win. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with the presentation of the awards and player interviews. You're watching OCA Media's presentation of Wisconsin State Rugby.
At Oregon Community Bank, our purpose for over 38 years has been to serve our customers. Our goal is to help them improve their financial lives with innovative banking products and services, coupled with unparalleled customer service. Doing banking the right way, bringing our skills and expertise to improve the financial stability to individuals and businesses is how we have grown. We call this feel-good banking. So give us a call. Drop into one of our convenient branches or connect online at OregonCommunityBank.com. Feel good about banking again.
There's no cost for imagination, no charge for dreams, no limit to what we can accomplish together. It takes grit, determination, but mostly it takes you. They are your ideas, your visions. We're here to help. Early mornings, late nights, heavy loads. We are real people turning extraordinary dreams into reality. Sunbelt Rentals. Your ideas, our equipment.
Your Social Security disability benefits have been denied.
You're upset, and maybe you're scared.
You need to appeal and get those monthly checks, but you've never done anything like this before.
It might be your first time, but not ours.
The Becker Law Office has helped over 10,000 people in Wisconsin appeal for disability benefits.
Disability law is all we do.
Call 1-800-254-7766, the Becker Law Office.
Dylan Danforth. Caden Dewberry. James Danon. Cameron Reese. Kislam Robinson. Nick Hine. Vincent Lemieux. Hunter Jordan. Austin Stengel. Broderick Slack. Rex Salazar. Charlie Creasure. Khalil Carson. Ryan Schultz. Antonio Trejo. Clayton Ott. Alex Spitzer. Zach Van Vonderen. Austin Beaumier. Nate Wilson.
We got one left for the coach. Who's the coaching staff? You're the coach, right? The coaches for Green Bay Mavericks. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Todd.
I'm the head coach, Andrew Prochniak. Our assistant head coach is Todd Prochniak. This was actually his last game today, and he's retiring full-time. We have assistant coaches Cameron Miller, Sam Lewis, and Kamante Robertson.
Once again, a big round of applause for Green Bay. There you go, buddy. then don't do their last names, all right? Friends played a long time. He's just going to do first names, so it'll be okay.
Or nicknames. All right, we got Larry. Victor. Briggs. Francis. Michael. Vaughn. Ty. Gavin. TJ. Mo. Gary. Captain Gary.
Captain Gary. Captain Coach.
Ortez. James. Tonio.
Wait, mine's the wrong way.
Ben. Joe.
Let's go, Joe.
Rolls.
Roll.
Antoine. Devin. Liam Jason. Harvey. Jesse. Tangi. David. Kane. We ran out of medals, but this is Nathan. Caleb. Tanner. Ramon. Timmy. Thor. And then my assistant coaches, Craig Peterson, Guido, Chase Jolly. And I'm Coach Bremser.
Oh, where's your captain? Your coach didn't do nothing. It's a captain. Ladies and gentlemen, Middleton Area Rugby Division II state champions.
Division II state championship here at the Wisconsin Rugby Complex in Cottage Grove, Wisconsin. If you're here with us and for some reason you're watching live on your mobile phone, they are selling tournament t-shirts for half off. Head over there and grab some as Middleton celebrates. As well they should. They defeat the Green Bay Mavericks 26-17 in an outstanding contest. The difference in the game, a yellow card against Green Bay that allowed Middleton 2 quick tries in the second half. And they end up winning 26-17. In the D1 game, it was Pulaski against the Chargers' #1 side. Pulaski all over the Chargers. They scored 36 unanswered in the first half. They win 48-5 in the end. We've got an interview now. It's Liz Entwistle with Ben Litchfield. Let's go down to her.
Hi, I'm Liz Entwistle with OCA Media here with sophomore Ben Litchfield from your state championship Middleton rugby team. Ben, did I just hear you play the entire game with a dislocated thumb?
Sprained.
Well done. I know that you are one of the younger members of this team. How does it feel? This is the first state championship ever for your Middleton club.
This feels amazing. I'm so happy to be here.
I heard it told me that during the course of the regular season, you were a 64% kicker, and you were perfect in the playoffs until you had that one super challenging kick today. Did you tell your teammates to score in the corner just to give you a challenge?
No.
Well,
I wish.
I'm extremely impressed with your play today. I think you played above your age level, and congratulations to you and the whole team. Are you going to be playing any more rugby during the course of the summer?
I'll be joining the Fall Sevens team here, yeah.
That'd be fantastic. We'll be looking forward to see what your Middleton team does with open space on the field, more attacking opportunities. Congratulations and enjoy the win.
Thank you.
So big thanks to everybody Who did the interview? Liz Entwistle interviewing Ben Litchfield. Middleton wins the Division II state championship. That is going to do it for us here for OCA Media from the State Rugby Complex in Cottage Grove. For our producer and director, Paul Zwicker, our technical director, Tony Bublitz, our graphics man, Brendan Heidmovich, our audio engineer, Brian Collins, camera operators, James Weidgard, Justin Janis, and Tim Weimer, our field director, Tim Kirkdorfer, our production assistant, Ben Boerigter, and with special thanks to Paul Terpstra of Clover Products, who donated the on-field microphones that we were able to use, and for my partner, Liz Entwistle. My name is Zach Seeloff, saying so long, and we will see you next year. Take care, everybody.
This is a presentation of OCA Media Sports.